Now we are live on YouTube. Okay. So yeah. So how you doing, people that's in YouTube right now? So definitely we are there. So we can kind of go there as well. So if all of you can see me, well, yeah, there you go. I'm getting some people now. So we're going to be waiting on Anjali, and so she'll be logging in just a second as well. So in the meantime, for all of you that's here, let me go ahead and do a little promo. As you know, in 2 days, we will be hosting the ufology show. So and that's going to be on the creators program, and it's not going to be in our room. So this Thursday there will be no clubhouse, and I may do something early, maybe 8 o'clock, to try to kind of stir the crowd, because at 9 p.m. we will be in the clubhouse HQ doing the pilot show ufology. So definitely, if you're new here tonight, follow Tiffany and I, look up the schedule, you'll be able to be a part of that. We're going to have Whitley Strieber is going to be there with us. I'm sorry. We're going to have Barbara Lamb. We're going to have Kathleen Martin. We're going to have Billy Carson from Forbidden Knowledge. We're going to have Linda Moten Howell. You guys know she's going to be bringing it. So definitely be there with us Thursday. And then we're going to have Alan, of course, our guy is going to be on with us as well. So hello to the audience there in Clubhouse. Like I said, we are live. I'm just waiting for Anjali to hit the link, and so she can get on with us, and she's going to tell us all about the regression that she did with Barbara Lamb. And I think this is probably one of the most exciting sighting of all of the interviews, because now it's just a wonderful thing. In fact, I had an opportunity to watch Barbara do a regression live that I was going to tape and give it to us as the crowd, and but it really shows some things that I think should be private, and so we're just not going to air it. But I think at the end of the day, it's just a wonderful thing. So Tiffany, there's Alan down there if you want to bring him up, and I'm going to send a text to Anjali and see what's going on where she is. We are waiting for you with love. How about that? And we'll get that reply back. So for all of you on the YouTube, thank you guys for watching live. And for those of us that's in the clubhouse, you are listening live, and we're plugged into the YouTube channel Extraterrestrial Evidence. And so here's where things will be going in just a second. So let's see when she responds here and see what we're doing at this point. But again, I'm just excited about. So Tiffany, while we're waiting on Anjali to get here, let's go ahead and talk just a little bit about this 60 minutes. I think it was just more a profound situation. And I think that, well, let me back up. Not profound. It's not exactly what we all was looking for us. But at the same time, it just gives more evidence that, things are coming down the pipeline, and it should be more of a vindication for all of us these days to say, you know what? Things are really happening. So what are your thoughts about that?
Absolutely. I think that having something um, UFO, UAP related on mainstream television on such a well-known platform as 60 Minutes,
Right.
I think that lends a level of credibility, in addition to the type of guests that they had on there. Now, it wasn't exactly what I guess a lot of people in the UFO community were kind of hoping to hear. Not the type of expose that we're kind of hoping comes in June. But it was still, I guess, for people who maybe are sitting on the fence, or they're still giggling when the topic comes up. At least now they have uh, something on a mainstream source
Yeah.
where it's people that they know and people that they can trust, and they're all in agreement.
Yeah. And, Ross here, he's on YouTube Live, and he said 60 Minutes brought some legitimacy to the phenomenon, in which I think they did. And in which CNN talked about it later on that night on Chris Como. And it was just, just wonderful to kind of get into that. So again, yeah, go ahead, Alan.
Roderick. No, I want to say the key moment in that interview was right at the very beginning for me when the reporter from 60 Minutes says, well, are UFOs real? And Elizondo looks exasperated and he says, come on, Bill, we're already past that point. It's like that was the best moment, right? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, of course they're real. The Army, Navy, I mean, the military has admitted that. Let's get beyond that right now. So that was a key moment.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. I really do. And for those of you, once again, that is here, thank you for hopping in tonight. Basically, tonight's clubhouse is that Anjali is going to share her regression therapy that she did with Barbara Lamb. And of course, y'all know Barbara's a regular here, and so we're going to be hearing that. So I'm just waiting on her to log in, and here she is now. And so let me bring her on stage here. All right, there you are. And if you can say hello so we can test that microphone.
Hello. I'm so sorry I'm late.
You know what? You're not late. We're just here. We were just waiting to whenever you decided to come. We just got here early and we just said, you know what? We're going to get here. Let me see if I can put our little branding up and see how that works with us. Well, all right. Well, maybe my technical things are off tonight. So, all right. Well, you still got the look. You good. You got a face for TV. All right. That's wonderful. All right. So for everybody that is watching us live and Clubhouse, I got to do my traditional opening. So, just hang on a minute. Let me get my little 30 seconds in. Tiffany, let me go ahead and fire this up so we can go here. And it's all live, right? Okay, here we go. Good evening, everyone. You're in the right place at the right time. Hi, I'm Roderick Martin, and I want to welcome you to Extraterrestrial Evidence. Now, you could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be right here in this room and on YouTube with us tonight. And for that, we're going to serve you. And now, how we're going to do that is simply this. We're going to be the boldest, baffling, belligerent clubhouse and YouTube channel in the world, creating captivating conversations that will certainly cause controversy. So listen, join me tonight with Tiffany, which is the greatest admin of all time. And then we got Alan on stage if you're not looking at the clubhouse, and with Anjali tonight. And we're going to have an exciting time, okay? And as you know, she's been here before and she's shared a lot of things with us. And tonight, I think it's very special. She's had the opportunity to have the regression through Barbara Lamb. And I don't even have questions today. I'm just listening. Okay. And so we're going to watch this in live real time today. And for those of you, we got a lot of you on Clubhouse, you're going to be listening to this as well. So in the meantime, that was the opening. And I just wanted to do it live so people know it's really live. So, all right, there we go. That was it. Any claps, y'all can clap or whatever. Thank you. All the good stuff. Thank you, Anjali, for clapping. All right, so here we go. We had the opportunity, or you, look, I'm talking we, like it's just us, right? You've had the opportunity to meet with Barbara Lamb. And I will say this first. I had an opportunity to videotape a live regression that she did a couple of days ago with the winner of the program when we was giving it out. And I was blown away. I mean, you're talking, I'm in this thing, I'm watching, and it's the whole thing. And what came out of that was just so phenomenal. And it just got me going to the fact that, you know what, within a year, I'm going to do it too. And I'm gonna, it's just one of those things. I think it's just, it's one of those things that we want to know about and everything else. So with that being said, everybody's here to hear about what you're saying, not with me. So let's give them what they come for and tell us just how it all became, and we'll get started there. So what was the setup like, and how did you prepare for this?
I meditated in preparation. We actually met long distance. We did it virtually, so over Zoom.
Austin, bird broker.
And it worked. It worked phenomenally. And I was skeptical. I was a little nervous that that I was not able to be hypnotized, and I thought how upset everyone would be. And I
Right,
thought,
right.
you know, if that happens, then we'll try again. You
Okay.
know, just that's what I figured. It's like, well, we're not going to give up. If I'm not, if I have difficulty, then we'll just go try another session, try to take me longer, you know, something. But in the end, the results were that I woke up and felt like I had just been in a very, very deep sleep.
Mm,
And it was quite a surprise to me, the amount of time that had gone by, and even some of the things that we talked about, because I unfortunately I don't remember everything
mm,
from our conversation. I would say I don't even know. I don't even know if I have, like, oh, I remember 75%. You know, I would love to be able to say that. I remember all of the hypnosis, like all of the conversation now. I just yesterday, I finished watching it and listening to all of the audio. And it was a really emotional experience for me. There were many times that I had to stop it and just kind of, you know, sit in awe of what I just heard.
You mean stop the replay that you was watching, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, so I've experienced it, you know, from the outside looking in as well. And um, I don't even, I didn't really do anything more than meditate and ask for the beings that I've been in contact with um, to please guide me through that, and to be there, to be present with me, and uh, to help me discover what it was that I needed to discover,
Hmm,
so that I could move forward.
gotcha. And
Um, Go ahead.
yeah, for what I want to do is and Burtis make a great point. He's on YouTube and he made a comment for the newbies. You know, let's maybe give a little background what brought us to this point. So basically, for those of you, if you're watching this for the first time, this is Anjali. She's the former Defense Intelligence Officer. And she have shared her experience with extraterrestrials in a mountain, right? Yeah, you know, I'm gonna call it a mountain, right? And but she's been here a couple of times and she's really shared the message that they given her the second time or the other times that she's been communicating. But then she's taken it deeper. And the deeper part of this is to have Barbara Lamb do a regression. And if you don't know who Barbara is, look her up. She's a hypnotherapist, regression therapist, done thousands of these. In fact, I witnessed one live the other day. So when Anjali just said it was emotional, and I'm watching as a viewer, and at one point I had a little stream of tear for the person who was being regressed, right? And I was like, this is some powerful moments right here. And what came out of it was just mind-boggling. And so, but anyway, back to this point, for those of you who are watching us and listening to us on Clubhouse, you can come live on YouTube. Anjali is here. You can see her visually, or, you know, we do have a lot of people listening in live on Clubhouse as well. And so with that being said, I know that Barbara tends to ask everyone who she regresses, what are you looking for? What's the intention, so that she can home in on what everything else. And of course, yes, guys, you know, the YouTube crowd is on it tonight. And yes, this was coming from a post from Reddit. Yeah, so you can read some of our information and stuff there on Reddit as well. I just love our audience. You know, they keep us all kind of joined here. So with that being said, Barbara tends to ask people, what are you looking for? So she can kind of home in on, you know, whether it's your purpose in life or wherever it is. So what was it that you wanted to gain from the regression when you and her decided to do this?
All I asked her to do was take me back to the tunnel and take me to the base.
Really?
That's all.
Oh, this is going to be good. This is
Yeah.
going to be great. Okay. So you
Sure.
wanted her to take you back to the tunnel, the experience of meeting them for the first time.
Meeting
when
them
you were
in person for the
in
first
person for the first time. Okay. All right. So you listeners on Clubhouse listening. And so therefore, let me make sure I do this for our listeners. I'm going to put the audio on high quality. So nobody can say they wouldn't, But anyway, Alan, are you there with us? Yeah, I think Alan's on Clubhouse. He should be listening. Tiffany, y'all can hear me okay on Clubhouse, correct?
Yes, you're coming through loud and clear.
All right. And y'all hear Anjali as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, good.
All right. Yes, they can hear. Oh, yeah, you turned it up. That's even better. So, all right. So let's begin with, let's start. I mean, where you want to begin? What you found out or what she did? Because I watched the method, but at this point, you're beginning to be put into a calm state. So therefore, we're not going to go through that description, but let's just get down to your experience. Let's go.
Sure. Well, it was really important to me because there have been so many questions about the tunnel from many people.
Okay.
And so it was really important to me that we start outside, that we start outside of the tunnel. At the moment that Wayne is lifting up the netting, pulling it back for the first time, and I'm doing it. And so I got to experience all of that, and walked through the tunnel. And she asked some questions about, what I was seeing, if it was, what the air was like, and I remembered it being still and very quiet, that the only sound was us, and that it was cool and very dark, but that, they had sufficient lighting, and it was amazing because I got to experience that moment again of rounding the corner and seeing them. And I got to experience seeing the lavender being in person for the first time as well. And at least that I could remember. And it was a marvelous, marvelous revelation. I would love to just say it right now because it's one of the most remarkable things that I feel like I experienced while I was there, regardless of all of the words that were said. One of the moments that my little human brain just wanted to, I knew I was in the presence of something remarkable, and it was when we went to the second room, and the door opened and the lavender being was standing there.
Now, can you give us a description of the lavender being? Because we're getting a lot of that here on YouTube. I just haven't brought it up. I see you closing your eyes and concentrating there. Is it okay? And do you feel comfortable in doing it?
Yes, it's hard to, I wish I could show you. I wish I could just, words are not enough, but I will do the best.
Right. Okay, that's fine. So take your time, and we're, for the people that's listening on audio, they can't see, how tough this is for you. But for those of us on YouTube, we really appreciate you. Okay. So go ahead.
Well, probably around 8 feet tall.
Okay.
Very lavendery, like lilac, like lilacs look. Very similar to that, maybe a little pinkish, a little bit more pink tone, cool or warmer tone in there. But what was the marvel was that I saw the face very clearly, and my lavender being is a mantis. And I never even knew. Listen,
Wow.
now listen to this, Roderick. I have heard of people talking about mantis beings. Okay. I am ashamed to say that for everything that I have experienced, that I wasn't sure that mantis were real.
Wow.
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you would think that I, would be more open to that. But the funny thing is I was talking to my daughter about this over the weekend, and she said, "Mom, do you remember when I told you that I thought that the lavender being was mantis? And you were upset with me?"
Mm.
Yeah. So
Wow.
she was in conscious contact with the being as well at the same time that she was having a
Wow.
discussion with me, way back when. And I was upset with her, and I just don't even know what to say. This being is, just like I said, has the bulbous, and then the eyes that come around the little man. It's a mantis. I mean,
Wow.
I don't know.
And for those of you watching, listening to us on Clubhouse, you are missing the description. But if you are hearing her, wow. I mean, and that's, we're getting a lot of people here that was actually coming across here to YouTube. One of the guys was just saying about a mantis, and Lazy Cactus is this username, and a couple of other ones. And when you just came out with it, it was like, bam, But so the description that you just made was the face, the eyes, and the little hands that look like a, yeah.
It's a mantis face. Go look
Wow.
at a mantis. Okay, go look at a mantis, because that's what it is.
Wow. Whoa. Oh, okay. For those of you on Clubhouse, you heard it. Mantis. Go look for the mantis, and that's what we.
The oh my God, the love, the compassion, the warmth, the openness just that is radiating from this being is absolutely remarkable. I am convinced that that perhaps what people say about mantis are true, that they are just maybe the most divine thing, the most divine being that I've ever seen.
Kind of like spirit guides. I see people are saying it in the comments.
Well, except that it was an 8-foot tall mantis.
Okay. Right.
Okay. We're not
Wow.
talking about a spirit. This was a physical creature standing in front of me.
Okay. I stand corrected. Yeah.
A spirit guide, maybe, I don't know a lot about what a spirit guide is and, does, or any of those things. But that was, for me personally, it was one of the greater revelations, was learning that mantis beings are real, and that this particular mantis was like a doctor, like was working on me. At one point, they had separated me from my body. I was on a table. They separated me from my body. My consciousness was up off the table and in a misty light. If you can imagine mist that is light, okay, that's literally what it was like. Misty light. It's just the air was just full of it. There was no place that it was coming from.
Wow.
And it was bathing over my consciousness, or my energetic being, I think, is probably, even, more, of, they were working on energy at the time. So consciously, I was there where they were working on my energy. I was not in the body. And in fact, I could see that my body was below me on the table, and that I was above it in this light being healed. Um, and the Mantis and some of the others were there. There were lots of people that were in the room with me, and several of them were standing around the table, including the Mantis and some whites and some a couple of I believe we would call them grays.
So who was in charge? Was the Grays or the Mantas? So who was in charge?
In that room, I felt that was the Mantis's room.
Okay.
I did. Like they were bringing me there to meet with the Mantis so that they could do this work, because that's what we did. They brought me in, they laid me down, and we started. It was like almost right away. And then all of the conversation that we had was when I was from the body, out of the body, doing the energetic healing in the white light. That's where the vast majority of the conversation took place. I'm getting chills just thinking.
Well, we have a question there from Ross.
Okay.
If you want me to read it, or you can see it on screen. Ross, I will actually have to repeat it for the people that are on Clubhouse listening. Ross asked, did the regression change or update anything from your recollection about how you feel about these beings and their reason for connecting with you and the human race? That's a great question.
I didn't want to leave them again.
Okay.
So I would say that if there was a change, it reinforced absolutely reinforced my connection to them, my undulated love for them, and felt very loved by them and very cared for, very safe, warm, like the safest place maybe that I've ever been. So I would say that the change is my commitment to what they have shown me and asked me to convey to people, and they do it in the most gentle and purest fashion, by just giving me everything at once that I need to understand what it is that they're saying and why. They went to great effort. I was having trouble understanding them, and I said so several times. Not understanding their words, but understanding everything that I was being shown.
Wow.
Some of it was, I was having a difficult time working through it, and I'm still kind of working through it. I am still working through it for sure.
Well, I can imagine. And Tiffany, we're going to let some people in the audience of Clubhouse ask a few questions as well. So if anyone got any particular question pertaining to the regression and anything in particular, and we all positive vibes here. And so anyone want to raise your hand and come up, we will, the YouTube people can hear you as well. And so we'll let you ask your question live as we go forward as well. So while we're waiting on those hands, let me look on here on YouTube. We got a few questions there, but describe a little more of the surrounding there. I know you kind of describe a little bit, but now that you had a little more clear picture of walking through or remembrance of going through there, any technology we want to think about there, or, just give us that look if you were looking around that room. Yeah.
The room is very large and round.
Okay.
Round room. Now, all of the light in the room is ambient. I walk in and I am enamored by the lavender being. And I don't know how long I stood there just gazing up and listening. But it was one of the most remarkable moments I've ever experienced in memory. And from there, they led me over to a table that was the ground was like like a gunmetal gray. Okay. And it was flat. And as I turned, a table like raised up out of it. Okay. And, they asked me to lie down on the table, and I did. There were a lot of people around me, and I didn't take any time looking around. That's the biggest disappointment that I can give you.
There is not a disappointment there. You know,
I didn't. I was enamored with the people that were around me, that I wasn't really looking a lot at my environment. That's
okay.
honest. Sad
Well, that's
truth.
fine. That's fine. Look like we have Nick, and of course you know Nick. And Nick, do you have a question for Anjali, or?
Yes, I do. Thanks, Roderick. Hey,
Okay.
Anjali.
You got to speak up a little bit, Nick.
Okay. There.
We go. He switched from Android to iPhone, so now we can hear a little better.
No, I wanted to ask, have you been approached by anybody from like a 3-letter agency or government related since you came public with your story?
Not yet. I have friends who work in several agency, coworkers, previous coworkers and friends. And I have let them know personally about my experience and that I have come forward, but no one official yet has come to me to talk to me about this.
Okay.
I don't understand it. I really don't.
Well, I mean, you're giving out enough information for all of us to understand. So I'm sure they're watching some of these videos because we get a lot of high views. Okay. And so therefore, I'm sure that is happening there. So let me see if we can take a question from someone on the YouTube audience here that I'll bring up. And whoever want to post a new question, go ahead, because otherwise I got to go back through the feed. But in the meantime, we have someone else here on Clubhouse. His name is Greg. And Greg, do you have a question for Anjali?
No, I had a question for Alan, if that was okay.
Well,
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
Hi, Alan. This is Greg.
Okay.
I wanted to know, at what point in your career did the light bulb turn on for ET or extracurricular
But
activity?
I don't want to take up too much of Anjali's time, but you could read that in my book. Let's do a plug for the book. It's right in my book there, Making Contact. And there's a moment where, yeah, I had this revelation of being part of a bigger picture. But I sort of like to hear Anjali and everything she has to say. But
Yes.
thanks for asking that.
Yeah, and I appreciate it, Greg. And Tiffany, give us a quick reset, if you don't mind.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. You are in Extraterrestrial Evidence Club if you're on Clubhouse or on YouTube Live this evening. We're here tonight with Anjali, who is sharing her regression results that she did with Barbara Lamb, a regression therapist and specialist. She is sharing her close encounter experience that I guess you would describe it, Anjali, as much more than just a close encounter experience. So with that, I will just say that we are live. So if you would like to raise your hand and you have a question for Anjali, you can do so. Just know that you are live and it is going to be simulcast here and on YouTube.
Yes, it is. And Anjali, on the screen, I have a question from Titus.
Sure. Hi, hi Titus. Did the beings tell you where they came from? Believe it or not, I didn't ask. They led most of the conversation. I was able to ask a couple of questions while I was under. That was not one of the questions that was suggested to me, and I didn't take it upon myself. What I can say is that what I understand from in the past, and from the many faces that I have seen, I believe that they are from many places. and not from one specific place. There is a definitive connection between Orion and Earth at this time, and it seems to be that we have Earth and a planet in. I see the Orion belt. I keep seeing the belt. Okay. In there, okay, there is a third density planet, a planet that vibrates at the same frequency that Earth has vibrated at. Okay. It's coming into its third density frequency and vibration. And our Earth is moving from a third density vibration into a fourth density vibration, where the frequency of the Earth is changing. And so what is going to be compatible with the Earth is going to change. So our individual vibrations have to be compatible with where we are. And this is what they explained to me very thoroughly. And that those who we all need, humanity needs to be raising its vibration, because at this time, as the Earth is changing, we as a race are not vibrating at the right frequency to be able to be compatible with living here. Okay. And so people who are not compatible with the fourth density vibration will, when they reincarnate, and I know I'm dropping a big one on everybody here, but let's be adults about it. Okay. When we reincarnate, those who are not vibrating at the right frequency will reincarnate in the Orion belt, as I believe it's going to be in Orion. I believe it's in the belt, but I don't know exactly. All of my life, I have been fascinated with that belt, and that's what they showed me the other day, was the belt. And so, but I don't see directly into it. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. We have another YouTube question, and then we'll get to a couple on Clubhouse. This was with HyperX, if I say that username right. And his question is, there any new information regarding the message to humanity about the use of language?
All right. New information, I would say that it is simply a reinforcement of what's already been said. And when we're talking about raising our conscious our conscious awareness and reaching out in conscious contact, not only with higher beings, but also with ourselves, and trying to develop this kind of conscious evolution. What was it? I'm so sorry. My kitty came up, and I have to show you how beautiful she is. First of all, this is my Lily.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to do a play-by-play. The kitty has fur, and, and the kitty is fluffy. Okay, for those on Clubhouse, I was just trying to do a play-by-play for them.
She is white and fluffy, and
it has paws.
And she has
and she has
no ears, and because
that's what I was checking that out. So is that a species of cat that has the missing?
No, she gets skin cancer, and she's had to have her ears removed.
Oh,
she's my Max's baby.
Well, I know people that do worse things to their cats, but that was in the safety of the cat. I'm sure they appreciate it.
That's right. Yeah. It was, and she is a very healthy and happy girl. But okay, so back to the question regarding their message. I would say that, so back to conscious awareness, we're not just trying to telepathically communicate with one another.
Right. Okay.
Conscious communication, conscious connection, that is a direct connection of consciousness to consciousness. And it is a full immersive experience. It's not just trying to send words or an idea. It's richer than that.
Okay.
It's richer. So we're not to just be focusing on our tradecraft of how how do I start reading minds? We're really trying to nurture the consciousness that animates this human biotechnology. Okay. The biotechnology itself must evolve, and the being within it, the consciousness in it, that is a split, a fracture of the source of all consciousness. We, I lost my place. I'm so sorry. I did.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. We got plenty of things. So we'll come back to that in just a second. Patrick is on Clubhouse, so we're gonna give Patrick an opportunity to ask the question. Patrick, go ahead if you're on stage now.
Oh, thank you, Roderick. So, Anjali, I was going to talk a little bit about disclosure, but I was listening to what you were saying, and I thought it really fascinating about the whole reincarnating on Orion's belt. So I wanted to shift over to that. You mentioned how the Earth's vibration is changing, and we have to operate within that frequency in order for us to stay here. And whenever we, if we're not operating in that frequency, we will reincarnate on Orion's belt. And I know in a previous show you had mentioned something about, I'm pretty sure that you had mentioned something about people that don't want to, have that frequency would be, I don't know if I'm talking right about this, but they would be like taken off Earth or something like that, or left on Earth. Anyway, my question is, the Orion's belt thing that you're mentioning, is that like the same frequency that Earth has been operating on thus far, and now this particular realm with Earth is now advancing to the next frequency, and if we don't raise our vibration, we will be kind of sent off to Orion's belt to continue our journey?
Yeah.
Am I?
That's my understanding, 100%. Okay, so let's break this down real slowly here. My understanding is that the planet in the Orion's belt is not as old as the Earth, okay? And so it is newer in its third density vibration. The third density is all about deciding what path you are going to choose, because when the fourth density, the only thing that really vibrates there, that can lead into the fifth density, okay, is love and compassion. And those are the primary things, the primary characteristics of the vibration of the fourth density, and that is so that we can move into a fifth, sixth, seventh, and then and onward to they're beautiful things. But so the Earth now is moving into that fourth density, and so because of that, people who choose fear over love and compassion, who choose fear, resentment, anger, retribution, violence, that's third density behavior, and we're putting it over there. This Earth is about to be fourth density, and humanity has to get on board with that. And so that means that if you want to let fear and anger and resentment and retribution and violence lead your path, then you may find yourself in Orion. Now, this is the great news, that from what I understood was that that's not a bad thing, because no being is going to be comfortable in a place where their frequency is out of sync with the frequency around them. It becomes unbearable. You cannot live in that. So Earth will become unbearable for people who aren't moving into the fourth density. And those people will be happier, and it will be a seamless transition. It will be a seamless transition. But this human biotechnology will be moving into the fourth density so that it can continue to evolve as its own race, okay? And the consciousnesses that inhabit it will continue to evolve with it.
Okay, I got a question here. Someone on YouTube and actually I'm going to do a 3-part of these different questions. They all kind of in the context of vibration. This one is, what does it mean to raise vibration? We'll just start there in the point there.
Well, all of energy vibrates. Energy is moving, and it has a frequency, and you can actually listen to the sounds of the planets. Maybe that's not the vibration that we're hearing, but I don't know if you guys have ever heard those on from NASA, all of the sounds of the planets. Have you guys heard that? Anyone? The celestial sounds of the planets. It's amazing. It's amazing. The music of just our solar system. It's phenomenal, and I highly encourage all of you to look that up. So while I'm telling you all of these details, please understand that at the same time, I am also working through them myself. The more that we are open to understanding that we do not understand the nature of our own existence.
Okay.
We have been living under a veil of forgetfulness that does not allow us to remember. And one of the things that they are trying to do is so that we can move into the fourth density out of this time of choosing, is to lift that veil so that we can choose whether or not we will embrace being connected to all living things, or if we want to reject that and say, no, it's about me. This is about me. I'm so important. My thoughts are important. My feelings are important. My needs, my desires, my wants, my me. Ow, you stepped on my toe. Ow.
Yeah.
Everything is all about me. We can choose that, and that's a different path, or we can choose to move into the fourth density. But that behavior and that kind of thinking lowers our energetic vibration. So it's about the energy of the consciousness that is inhabiting these bodies.
Okay, so now did we answer a question that's on screen? What is the third and fourth density? I don't know what it means, is what she says.
Yeah. Good question. So this is another one of those areas where I am still learning. I am still remembering. I understand that they showed me many stages of the evolution of consciousness and the evolution of our living planet. Okay. They want us to understand that all living things have consciousness. They are in a stage of conscious evolution, and all of these fractured pieces of consciousness are from one consciousness that has split and does not know itself anymore and is exploring its own learning. Okay. And so now we're in a guardianship. It's like we have beings who are here to nurture this planet and this consciousness, is the development of all of humanity, and this split consciousness. They're in guardianship over this. So we have various stages of awareness and of the energetic vibration of the earth and how aware the consciousness of life is on that planet. And as you move, this is the best I can give you because I am still trying to figure out, well, what's first and second density?
Okay.
Okay. But
Okay.
so they're showing like an evolution of consciousness, but it's not quite like some of the charts that I have seen that places a hierarchy of like plant and animal development aside, you know, and then human development I've seen, and then I've seen like extraterrestrial development, and then you know, pure spirit and all of these. And really what I want to say is, oh, listen, we don't know. We cannot understand the full nature of our existence. And that is like super key to being open and to your energetic vibration, being able to raise to meet the vibration and the change of the earth.
Okay.
So as I understand that as densities move up, they do different things. Third density, it seems to be all about a choice that we have to make about, do we want to be in service to ourselves and believe that we are the most important, you know, the physical, this body here,
Okay.
and my idea of who I am as a person, or do we want to be in service to others, which is a form of service to self, because all is one. We are all from one single consciousness. So it's really about a choice of opening, being open and ready, or being closed and not ready.
Okay. And all right, there's a Ambrose. He's in Clubhouse. He's going to answer. Well, first, we're going to get with Anna, and since she's up, and then we'll come to you, Ambrose, and you can answer this question through Clubhouse. Apparently, he's both on YouTube, and which is great. He's commenting here, but he can speak live over there. I think that's a great conversation. Anna, go ahead. How are you?
Hi, Roderick. Thank you very much. Anjali, thank you very much for doing this.
You might want to speak up a little bit, Anna, because you can't see her. She's leaning into the screen to hear you.
Okay. Is this any better?
Oh, perfect.
Great. Thank you so much for doing this, first of all. We greatly appreciate this. And, you know, thank you for sharing something that's so personal. I'm very interested in the anthropological aspects of these creatures. And my question is that, you know, as humans, we have a lot of signifiers and things that we use to identify ourselves culturally. Like, we wear jewelry, we have decorations on our clothing, we wear graphic t-shirts, we have shoes that are for specific occasions, things like this. These creatures, did you have any sort of sense as to whether they had any kind of individualism, or if they did any kind of self-decoration or had any kind of self-expression to themselves, or did they seem very much identical to one another?
Well, I can tell you that the whites, there were 3 tall whites that I remember being very close to, meaning, you know, proximity. And they were, probably about 6.5 feet tall, maybe 7, or pushing it, very tall, very thin. But they were wearing, this is what I was thinking. They're wearing this, like, it's like a black, it's like form-fitting jumpsuit. And all 3 of them were wearing it. And the mantis, I can't see past here on the mantis. And I see a lot of, I think that they're wearing
For Clubhouse, where is here?
Oh yeah, because remember, people are listening. The people on YouTube seeing you describe a little bit. So yeah, just kind of go where it's here.
I'm not sure which.
Go ahead. What
I
Tiffany? Kind of go in detail what you meant.
I was okay. So
No, not you,
Oh.
Anjali. Tiffany, you were saying for Clubhouse, what do you want her to kind of get into?
Oh, I was just asking for like a little bit more detail if there's any gestures or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just for people listening.
Yes, so sorry about that. Okay, so they were wearing form-fitting bodysuits, but down like around. I got a really good look at them when I was coming in from the tunnel into the base, and this is really about the only time that I was really taking in how they were dressed, and it was because they were all standing there right in front of me, and so the three with the bodysuit was like a black, I couldn't see, I don't know what kind of fabric it was. It wasn't like a leather or anything shiny. And it went, by the time that it got down like around the ankles, it started to flare out a little bit more like a pant leg, which I thought was really interesting. And then up around they had belts on at the waist. And it was like a faux, not suspender, but like a faux tank, that was part of the jumpsuit that goes over their shoulders, like all connected. And then they had it was like bluish black on their arms. And they had on black boots, but I didn't really examine them very well, but their feet were in boots. Very
All
humanoid,
right.
very, very humanoid. The gray that met me at the entrance, he looked like he wasn't wearing clothes, but he was. And it's a bodysuit. It's like a bodysuit, very tight fitting. And I didn't see any kind of symbols or jewelry or anything on the grays. And I don't remember on the Mantis. I'm sorry. Everything from here, I just see from like chest up on the Mantis. So
that's okay. That's all right. You're doing good there. And we're at the bottom of the hour, everyone. So let me make a quick announcement, and then Ambrose is going to go back into the question that was asked about those densities in a minute, if I'm pronouncing that right. But first of all, guys, you're at Extraterrestrial Evidence, and of course, we're here with Anjali live on YouTube, and therefore, there are you who are listening to us live via upstream through Clubhouse. So we're doing a little bit of both, and we appreciate both of you. Now, once again, Thursday, as you know, we will not be in this club, but I may try to do a pre-show warm-up for us, but make sure that you follow Clubhouse HQ, because Thursday at 9 p.m. Central is the pilot program for ufology. We want everybody to show up. We want to represent the community. If you in other rooms all of this week, bring it up. The flyer, if you go to my Instagram, UFO Syndicate, you can see the flyer, share it on social media. We're going to have, Alan Stanfield there. Of course, him. He's going to be chatting there. Barbara Lamb. We're going to have Kathleen Martin, which is the niece and the author of Capture from the Betty Hill and Barney story. She's going to be there. Whitley Strieber is going to be there from Communion, and he's a reporter. Billy Carson from Forbidden Knowledge. Me and him just did an hour-long video. If you go to his channel, and we talked about a lot of things, it's great there as well. His YouTube channel, Forbidden Knowledge, and I'll probably put it up on this channel as well. And then also Linda Moulton Howie. And believe me, I talked to her for a couple of hours, and she said that be prepared for some of the things that she's going to disclose. Because one of the questions before she agreed to come on board for this event, she was like, can I let it out? Or is Clubhouse controlling what you say? And I said, no, they're giving me full autonomy. Let's do it. And so she's going to break some things out. And we want a record setting, just people there supporting the community. And it's going to be a great event. So once again, we got the YouTube channel. Any of you who are watching us live now, there's a bunch of you on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you are listening to Clubhouse, go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and watch some of the previous videos that we've done with Anjali that led up to this one, so it can bring it all into fruition for you from there. So with that being said, Anjali, again, it's a pleasure of you being here tonight. I know it takes a lot of strength for you to move down this timeline. From when we first talked, you were not going to come forward. It was like, you know what, my family and everything, and the courage that you have shown and just progress, and to be your friend, it's just heartwarming to see you go through all this in there. And Patrick, thank you for sharing the flyer. He was just letting me know a lot of people have. So with that being said, Ambrose, you're going to answer those questions that you heard. Go ahead. You're live now.
Hey, Anjali, how's it going?
Hi, how are you?
Doing well.
Good.
Good to hear from you too. I did have a question. I'll answer the other thing after. My question was about your phraseology.
Okay.
How you use the words like densities and frequencies and vibrations and all of that. My question was, is this are these terms that you've heard from the beings themselves, or is this kind of your way of kind of articulating what's been said based on other things you've read?
Great question. This is their words. Now, when I first was explaining all of my contact in the mountain to my daughter and my best friend, because they were the only two that I trusted not to think I was insane, I told them that they kept talking about, I said, it's like they kept saying third dimension, but it's not dimension. It's another D word. And I don't know what it is. It's like, I said, I can't remember. It's driving me crazy. It's like, and I'd say, it's like dimension, but it's different. It's not a dimension. It's another D, third D, fourth D. And I couldn't figure it out. I've been chewing on it. And they came right out with it. During the hypno regression, we uncovered that 100%. The word that they were using was not dimension. They were using density. And that was not a word that I was familiar with when I saw them in 2018. Does that help?
Okay. Yeah, that's really helpful, because that's like identical to the raw material. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I am more familiar with it now than I was a few weeks ago. And I don't even know what to say. I hear it too. I hear it too.
That's okay. It's all right. We with you. And Ambrose, you're gonna, I'll tell you what, now I seen that some people saying they having trouble with their feed. It looks good on my end. I mean, you look wonderful. I mean, are you having any static on your end from our video?
Me? No.
Yeah.
Everything's wonderful on my end.
And it's good on my end as well. So it is you guys' stream that's having issues on top of issues, because boy, I'm getting it. But it's saying that streams cut out a lot. So it is on my end. So make sure you have a good internet, is what I'm being told by the back end being Kai. Well, Ross said he has no issues either. So anyway, you guys like this video as well. Like the video, share it, thumbs up, set the icons, subscribe to the channel and all those good things so we can do that. We have Marcellus. He's here on Clubhouse. Do you have a question for Anjali? Marcellus, anything in particular? I know you may have a story to share But right now we're interviewing her. But do you have a question and anything you want to share with us, Marcellus? Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
Well, you are live, Marcellus, if you want to say anything. If not, Tiffany, let's Hungry Rabbit jumps, and we will do what we have to do there. Okay, well, let me see about this myself here. All right, yeah, we're good.
Just so that this will be helpful, I think, we have a wonderful gentleman who is going to transcribe excuse me, I'm sorry, I dropped something. He's going to transcribe the hypnoregression so that we'll have just a text file of all of the audio. And I think that will be helpful.
Hello.
Oh.
Okay, so we are having some people with some YouTube issues. Now I could try to switch to something else, but it may just hang us up. So are you guys willing for that or not? I can switch to a direct line and we can kind of go from that point.
I had a question for Tiffany. I don't know. I guess my mic wasn't working just a second ago.
Okay. She's listening.
Okay.
I'm here.
I wanted to know, Tiffany, you're the one who was talking about your encounter with the grays and the whites and.
No, sir.
Okay, that's the moderator. My bad. I have a question for the moderator. Or not the other moderator. My bad, Tiffany. What was your impression of the grays?
Are you? Oh, for me?
He's talking to you. Yeah, he's talking to you.
Yeah, questions for Anjali.
Okay. Well, my impression with everyone was that they're extremely compassionate, extremely concerned about the status of humanity and the status of the earth itself and the destruction that we have brought upon not only our earth, but as we understand it as humans, but other places that are also here that we share with other beings, that we have really caused some terrible injury. Oh, it's Lily behind me, for those of you who are wondering. So my opinion of all of them is that they are extremely concerned and compassionate. The ones that were the most aloof were the tall whites. They were kind of more aloof. And I take that maybe they spent too much time around us humans. So.
Okay. All right. Well, then.
All right, thank you.
All right. So we have Rashad. Go ahead. And the people on YouTube seems to be having some streaming issues there back and forth. Like I said, you and I look fine. And but I could switch over to a direct line. But if it does, it may hang me up. But then you'll be here talking to them and you can probably handle it. And let me see something first. Let me see if it's possible for me to switch to the cable Thunderbolt here. And that's not happening. So let's not go there. Okay. So Rashad, you're here on Clubhouse. So if you got a question, go ahead.
I do have a question. Thanks for inviting me up. My question is for Anjali.
Yes.
Thank you for doing this today. I'm sorry if you repeated anything I'm going to ask you. I did kind of come in late. A friend of mine pinged me into this group to take a listen because we share similar stories with the Mantis.
Wonderful.
But yeah, so my question is, I know you were talking to you. I got in when you were kind of talking about your regression. Are you still having contact with the group? The regression was your first time. You got regressed the first time that you had contact, and are you having contact after that, or did you only have contact, kind of that first time that you kind of remember? That's my first question.
Okay. Well, funny thing is that it was the first time that I was aware of until the hypnosis, and that I was certain that I had had contact with them. They have said, they informed me that they have been in contact with me since before I was born to my mother. They told me that that I chose to be here, that I chose to come to Earth and to be placed in a human body, and to spread the message of conscious evolution of humanity, and to prepare us for contact with higher beings and for sharing our planet with other life forms, as we move into this fourth density. They said that this is what I do, that I work with them, and that I have a really close relationship with the four, because I am a mouthpiece for the things that they want to tell us as we're moving into this change that is coming. And I don't know, does that answer your question at all? And I have seen them since. I mean, they've told me that they've known me. I now have a memory of meeting them when I was a child, that I didn't have. So that has resurfaced. And I have a few other instances that I am fairly certain that I saw them, and I saw them afterwards in the Mojave Desert as well, at near a place called Giant Rock that has a very amazing history, actually. So
Right. And so your so your encounters after, I guess, how am I trying to phrase it? Up until recently, you have what kind of encounters do you have up to now? Are they more like you were talking about, conscious related right now, kind of telepathic? Are they energetic? That's my question.
Right. Okay. Very good question. I have conscious contact with them, and it's very regular. And they have also said that they have come to my house, and they told me not too long ago that they were going to come, and we, Max and I, had an experience at the house, that they have just said yes, that we have been there. And they have also said, now this is really interesting, they have said that there are lots of beings who come through our home, like they're coming to see, like they're rubbernecking, like they're gawking, like they're coming to see the lady who's talking and aware of them. They want to know, and so I have other beings that will come through, and I have other experiences during the day, and we even have, visual and auditory disturbances at our home. So they're very much, we are like a light to moths right now, and it's really
right.
Really,
I got you. Thank you. I don't want to take up too much of the room's time, but we share. I asked you very specific questions because we share basically the exact same story. And I've been on here talking about the exact same thing in the other group, sharing my story. And you have a piece that I don't have in terms of getting regressed. And I've been thinking about doing that with Barbara Lamb. I started with the Mantis. My first time I was with them was when I was 5, but I had an agreement with them before I incarnated as well. So we share the exact same story, and that's why I'm very intrigued. And my encounters now are like yours almost all the time. So is there any way that I can contact you? We can kind of talk away from this through email or anything?
Absolutely. If you will just leave me a comment, and I promise you, I will reach out to you. If you can also, I know the best way on Twitter. I'm at Anjali on Gaia. Please reach out to me there. Send me a direct message, and I will check those this evening when we're done. Okay, I'm excited, Rashad. I really want us to connect because they showed me a network of people who are here to do the same thing that I am doing.
I was told that like a few months ago, the exact same thing you were told, and it's just amazing. And my buddy just texted me because I actually don't have Twitter, but my buddy just texted me and told me he's very good friends with Roderick, so we'll connect.
Yes, I'm so excited, Rashad. I cannot wait to connect with you.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, this is getting interesting enough, and I love it, and we'll definitely we have 2 or 3 more people on stage. So Tiffany, if you want to cut the hands off, and that'll be a good time now. That way, the last 3 people are here or there. We do have, and another thing, there's people on YouTube, and I'm gonna put a little ticker across the screen here. Let me see if I can get it to work. There you can kind of see there's our new text number, but if you text that number 972-784-8814 hashtag UFO, you're not only going to get on our list, but you'll also get a link. And if you do hashtag invite, those are on YouTube, you'll get an invite to get on Clubhouse, whether it's Android or the Apple phone. And then you can also get information for the event Thursday from there. So we have 3 people actually here left, and we're going to go over their questions, and then let me get back to YouTube comments here, and let me stop this ticker for a second. Let me hide that. The comments, yeah, now they're saying it was YouTube's signal and not mine. That's great. Okay, yeah, because we're doing fine, right? We're good. Yeah.
Just say that I'm just sitting here. All I can think about is Rashad. my night is shot. Like,
well, you know what? That's what we hear, and then hopefully, Rashad, what I'll do, I'm gonna give him direct access. So Rashad, hit me on the DM, and I'll give him your cell phone number. Is that good?
Wonderful. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, and then that way you guys can connect. So Rashad, if I know you're in the audience, hit me on the Instagram and leave me your number, and I will get there. And Rashad is actually Experience friend, and so you'll be doing an interview with Experience in the Extra Paranoia Society. That'll be Thursday, I think, right?
Thursday, yes.
Yeah, Thursday. So you guys will be hooking up there. So make sure y'all jump on that and Experience. Then we'll let y'all know when time is ending. Y'all hop over to the Clubhouse HQ. So we got a full support day going from there. So definitely happy with that. So the next person that we have will go from Clubhouse. We got 3 people here, and man, Tiffany, I don't want to butcher this name. Canapams. Oh, that's one word. Okay, Pam. Canapams. Go ahead, sweetheart. You up?
Yes. Okay. I'm Canapam. I'm a cannabis educator.
However,
right. I was hoping that's what that was. Canapam. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I'm 50 years in OG and advocate. But however, I have a complex question. Okay. I too have been abducted my whole entire life. I'm ancestral abducted. I'm also O blood. And so I'm abducted by several different entities. And when you spoke as if they were working in a collaboration. And yes, if this is true, the collaboration now, if they're working as a federation, let's just say, our assignment down here is that for us to get together and speak more, speak louder, gather our tribes, so to say, for knowledge. But the awareness in where I'm at, what's coming to me are very questionable people. They need help, in my opinion. And so do we have an assignment from our collaboration? Thank you. I'm done speaking.
Well, I don't really know how to answer that question. I know there is definitely collaboration going on between these higher beings. In fact, when I asked, I saw multiple beings who were in the room. Okay. And I have had conscious contact with multiple beings. And they show me their faces. And so like when I ask, will you be with me tonight? I will get like an image that'll show me like 20, 30 faces. And they're all, they're just different races of people, of, beings. So there's definitely collaboration. They are definitely here for a purpose. They have been very clear with me that I am to share the things that they say, that I'm not here to promote them, but that I am here to speak their words and to help to prepare humans for contact with them. This is a very delicate situation, that the more that humanity reaches out, seeking openness, seeking understanding of our own existence, seeking to understand our own consciousness, and seeking to connect with a higher source of consciousness, the more that we do this, then the more prepared that humanity is for contact with them. And so that's the crutch of it, guys. If you want contact, then we need to start meditating, elevating our conscious awareness, being open-hearted, open mind, and seeking, asking for their help, reaching out to them, seeking that contact. And yeah, I guess that's my understanding, is that I need to tell people how to, that it's coming, that they are coming, that this is going to happen. Be very frank about what they're looking for from us. They do have some proscriptions that they would like to issue. And so there will be some of that. And they did show me a network of people that they want me to be connected with. Okay. They showed me that network, and I am looking for those people. So if Canapam, if you feel that you may be part of this, then I encourage you to please reach out to me on Twitter, at Anjali on Gaia, and send me a direct message, and we can begin.
I have photographic evidence.
Sure. Okay. Of.
So, and I have log time losses and warping time. So, yes, all of that above. But I know we're being pulled together, but I wasn't clear. Maybe there's a clear mission that we should be hurrying to do. Calm the crowds by information.
I think that the more that we are open to contact with higher beings who are only here to help us, and we show less fear and less divisiveness, and the more that we are reaching out compassionately to them, I believe that is really the crutch of what we need to be doing here while we're working on elevating our own consciousness. All of the other things that are a problem with humanity, they start to work themselves out. See, the more that we understand who we are, and we recognize we are the spark of the consciousness of the one source where all consciousness that we experience comes from. Once we recognize that, then all of those old things from third density, all that third density behavior, it begins to fall away. And so it's extremely important that we go through the motions, even if we're not exactly sure exactly how, if we're even doing it right. Just having the open heart and the open mind and the open spirit is really what they're looking for.
Powerful, very powerful. We have two more people that's here on Clubhouse, and we're going to take their questions, and then we will be getting out of here in about a few minutes. Okay. So we have Faye. Is that Faye or Fia? Let me make sure I pronounce that correct.
It's Faye.
See, I got it. And first of all, Faye, I want to thank you just verbally for the contribution you made to extraterrestrial evidence. And it was a true blessing. And more than you know, it helped with a new project that we're going to be surprising people with. And I just want to thank you for that as well. And it came at the right time. So again, Faye, go ahead. You have a question for Anjali, and then we have Nimi. She'll be up next. Go ahead.
I do, and thank you, Roderick and Tiffany, and you're very welcome. Hi, Anjali. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well, Faye. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So I've just been really enamored with your story. So the question I have is going to be fairly basic, but just briefly, I have just recently started having, I guess, contact. I wouldn't say I guess contact, it is contact. And I was recently regressed. And during that regression, I met with, I guess, my cosmic family, but they didn't reveal themselves to me. Like I couldn't see them. They were stepped back into the shadows, and I don't know why. But consciously, the contact that I had, it wasn't beings that I saw, but it was very, I don't know if it was a portal or if it was energy, but it was this beautiful lavender, pinkish ball of something or another. So when you keep speaking of like the lavender being, like it just struck a chord. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm like obsessed with lavender right now. Like the past almost a year, like obsessed with the color lavender, because this thing that appeared to me was just like this beautiful, I don't even really know how to describe it. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it is. But my question is have you experienced anything like that? Or
I have experienced a floating sphere that was about this big that came into the room, and it was purplish, and it came and it hovered over my bed, and I felt like it was looking at me, but it was always only light, but it just felt like it was looking at me. And then it literally just was like poof, and it was gone. But it came into the room and like did this thing and like came over the bed and just was like hovering over where I was laying, and then it went to the middle of the bed, and then it just disappeared.
That is not crazy, but that is crazy because it's exactly what happened to me. It appeared first at my job. It was like on top of this building. It was like you said, something watching me, like something saying, hey, look over here. And I was like, what in the hell is that? And then it happened to me again when I was in Tahoe, and it came into the room and it was hovering above me. Like it woke me up out of my sleep, and I saw that ball, and it's a sphere. It was right. Beautiful, pulsating, purplish, lavenderish sphere, and I wanted to touch it, and I put my hand up to touch it, and then I got scared and I put my hand down. It was like I was overcome with fear, or at least I guess my body reacted that way. I just felt like whatever it was so colossal. But when I was regressed, it was revealed to me that yes, that was them. So I don't know what they look like, because they were stepped back into the shadow. But they also did give me a mission. They did tell me my purpose of being here. And I'm trying to they told me I am here to raise consciousness through love. And I have the gift of bringing people together, and I have the gift of loving, I guess. And I was like, that's not a gift, but they said it's a gift.
It
So
is.
I'm supposed to raise consciousness through love. And I'm just here in my human body trying to figure out how to do that. But
Oh, it's beautiful.
yeah.
Me too. I
Yeah.
have to tell you, I also tried to reach out and touch mine. And when I did, it actually moved back away from my touch. As I moved towards it, it moved back away, further away from me on the bed. It was really something. So it interacted. It was at least reactive, if not interactive, before it disappeared. It was really something. I would like to connect with you, Faye.
Oh, absolutely. I would love that. I'm not on Twitter.
I'll
But I
hook
can
you up,
connect.
Faye, through Instagram. All right. I'll get her the connection for you, and Anjali.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Well, great, great, great. And for those of you who on our text list, we were using the 800 number, but I couldn't really do group texting, so I moved it over to community, which is 972-784-8814. It's in my bio. If you in Clubhouse, definitely transfer over to that because we've been having problems, texting everybody out with the alerts, but with community, we can kind of do so. For those of you on YouTube, I did post in the comments, if you text hashtag Clubhouse to that number, it's going to send you the link to that event. And then if you need an invite to Clubhouse, I have 1,000 of them. So definitely text that number, 972-784-8814, hashtag invite, and it'll send you the link to Clubhouse. And then, of course, you'll need the event as well. And so all of those things are technically, and I advise everybody to get on these text lists because, we have thousands and thousands of people in our club, but, sometimes you get all these alerts from Clubhouse and you turn these things off because you don't want to get hundreds and hundreds of alerts, but you do miss the ones that you need or want to really get. And so therefore, we'll be sending out those information, different things there, and how we're going to be doing things on and offline of what we're working on. So I'm really excited about that. So we have one person left, and it's Nimi, and she has a question for you. And also, Nimi is a new MUFON investigator. And so definitely we have, Samantha that's in the audience. She's new to us as well. Of course, y'all know Tiffany and I are MUFON investigators. And so the family is growing through Clubhouse and through other means of meeting people. So Nimi, you have a question for Anjali? All right. Maybe the mic needs to be unmuted.
Nimi, if you're unable to mute your mic, just look down in the lower right-hand corner.
She got
Got
it.
it.
She
There
got
you
it.
go.
All right, go
Thank you,
ahead.
Tiffany. My first time speaking up in Clubhouse. Okay, so I know we're running short on time. I wanted to say thank you, Anjali, for sharing your story. It's a beautiful story, especially considering what your mission is, and hearing Faye mirror that. That's really cool. Also was glad to hear someone bring up the anthropological piece of this. I'm an anthropologist by degree, and so I'm very, very interested in the anthropological side of any contact that we have, what we think of as extraterrestrials. Mm-hmm. So that's very interesting. My question is more related to religion, and you spoke about the energy, and you spoke about density. I've been sort of obsessed with the concept of energy and balance, and that all things, are made of energy. The sound of my voice is pure energy. When I was born on this planet, all I had was the energy in my body, and when I die, that's what I'll die with. And I feel like my mission is to use that energy to move energy while I'm here, to affect the energy and affect others through my actions, my words, my deeds, my thoughts even. So I think that's really powerful. And I wonder how that concept of balance and moving energy is related to this concept of density. I think that's really interesting that you bring up the word density. And I guess in my mind, I haven't yet connected how that's related to balance and the nature of energy and how it's all, you know, we're all moving one another through our energy. So there's that question about how balance is related to this concept of density. But also, you talked about us being sort of asleep or having forgotten. And so we're going through a process of remembering our true nature. And I think that our concept of religion, it is a piece of that. Like, we misunderstand what religion really is. And I don't want to offend anyone, because I'm accepting of all religions and all holy texts and divinely inspired, writings and texts. So I'm not dismissing any religion. I'm just saying, I think we misunderstand it and the purpose of it. And it's very connected to this phenomenon. Wondered if you could weigh in on that, just the concept of religion and how that plays into this, from your understanding, and also that energy piece.
Sure, you bet. Believe it or not, the easier of the two to tackle is the concept of religion piece. What the beings have said is that that we have a tendency to humanize their inspiration. Okay, so essentially our divine texts that we have are the result of contact with higher beings, and because we're fallible, we have a tendency to corrupt the systems that we create. And they have specifically said that our dogma is creating division, the illusion of division, the illusion of separation, and is leading to violence and destruction on earth. So they are against religious dogma. That does not mean that they are against religion, but the dogma that we have created here, specifically what humanity has done, is very problematic for our ability to raise our energetic vibration. Because our dogma tells us, well, no, I'm right, you're wrong, and not only are you wrong, but I'm willing to fight you for it. And I'm willing to kill you for it. And so, unfortunately, that's third density life. We have these situations that we have to circumvent, because every situation that we find ourselves is part of the growing, and it's part of the choice. We make choices all the time. And they're just asking us to always choose openness and love and compassion, and to recognize that we are all one consciousness, born from the same creation at the same moment, when that consciousness split to experience itself in a multitude of ways. And that's really the crux of it. I mean, that's the foundation of what they're trying to communicate with us. And then, of course, we have our stories, our human stories that we pass down of those experiences. And so really the only thing that they have said is what I've said about dogma, and just the history of humanity with systems in general. And now, regarding energy and density, I'm still trying to understand what density means. They have told me many times that it's very heavy here. And I don't think that that's just meaning physically. I think that energetically, this is a very difficult place to be. I think most of us, just by virtue of us all being here, we've probably, most of us have experienced walking into a room or a building or something, and we just get a really bad feeling. There's just real negativity. Or, you know, we've worked for an organization where the morale is so low that when you walk into the building, you can actually feel it, you know, and it is like a heaviness that weighs on us energetically. And so I think density has something to do with that, with the heaviness of the illusion and then our reaction to that illusion. I don't know if that helps at all. Oh.
It does. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. So let's go here. Let me do this and where we are. So let's start this process. All right. So we're coming to a close, and I'm my little positive vibe here. And I just want everyone to know to really, truly come back and watch this video and all the other ones that Anjali have done, because I think she's done an awesome job of courage to venture into a place that I think most people will probably try to question. But I will say this, and I will say this most heartily, as I have been coming here with Clubhouse, interviewing people, talking to people off and online, the story and these things are now becoming very familiar. And they all seem to be connected, and it all heading down the road of the message that we're receiving. And now with mainstream media is now adding to the equation that we're not alone. Okay. And so I think the time has come for all of us to follow with the tagline of extraterrestrial evidence. And what you see on my hat, if you're here on YouTube, is it's time to believe. Okay. And it's just where we are today. And I'm just excited. And I'm excited because there was a time that this wasn't a conversation, but being in the right place at the right time and doing something about it and being a voice in this community is grateful to be able to do that. So as I come to a close, Thursday, show up, ping everybody. This is so important, more than you know, for our community, period. And you know, we're already against the odds because of our conversations and our subject matter. So I want to make no doubt to not only Clubhouse that it's something that we want to hear, something we want them to support at the same time as we venture down these world of disclosure that's going to be happening. So Anjali, I love you. I really do. And we have a long journey ahead, okay, as I say, but you know, most of the people don't know, you know, as we communicate throughout the day and throughout the week, and as I'm coming to visit your place, you know, it's just exciting. And so with that being said, it's been a plum pleasing pleasure for all of us. I'm Roderick Martin, and this is Anjali, and we're going to be leaving right now, and I'm going to hang up Clubhouse. Tiffany, you got any goodbyes or anything you want to say to anybody out there? You know, you have the word.
No, thank you, Anjali, for coming.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, hon.
I just thought she was at least going to give us a recipe for macaroni and cheese or something. You know, I don't know. She cooks. You cook, Tiffany, right? No, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. So anyway, to all of you in the audience, again, thank you for doing this. Again, show up and be proud of what we're doing. You got to go to Clubhouse HQ. It's going to be in their room, their club. You can follow their club, but you can also scroll through and you'll see the schedule, 9 p.m. Central. Be there because you do not want to miss any of what we're going to be talking about that day with everybody else. Anjali, to you. Much love and see you later. Thank you for coming.
Bye-bye.
All right. Okay, guys, on both sides, the broadcast is